When I first found out I was positive, I was shocked at first. I couldn't believe it, just because my whole team's been safe and we haven't had any major issues with COVID prior to me testing positive. I had a dry cough, a little headache, and then I would say a couple days later, I lost my sense of taste and smell. I really kind of figured out it was gonna be a long process. I was the second week into isolation. That's when I had a little heart or chest discomfort, which was a major red flag. And I reached out to Sarah immediately and had to go to a doctor and get some MRIs done, and we found out that I did have myocarditis from COVID, they think. I was in isolation for almost a month.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, his 21st birthday. He was a champion through the whole thing.
But I think, after talking to Sarah, who's our athletic trainer, and the doctor, I kind of figured out okay, I'll probably be out for the rest of the year.
For Elias, initially, we were okay, what we know is we're gonna isolate you for 14 days. We're gonna track your symptoms, and we're gonna see where this goes. So every day we ran his vitals. I was his only human contact. We would occasionally get him outside to take, socially distanced walks. But the poor guy, being from California, it was when our weather was pretty brutal. We had 2 or 3 snowstorms in that time. Wind chill was crazy. So after a couple of days, he would be like, is it cool if maybe we don't go outside today and I just do some yoga? So he was really good and coachable, willing to do whatever we told him.
It's been hard mentally, but I think I've had a positive mindset the whole time. And I the whole time just been wanting to get back on the court because when I tested positive and when I came back, I couldn't practice at all. So I would just basically walk the stairs or around the gym while they would be practicing. So I think that was hard on me because I just want to be back with my teammates.
He was doing his best. He put his bravest face on every time because he ended up watching his teammates continue to participate. And he never had a problem with recovery or keeping his wind or cardiovascular fitness. And this was a young man who couldn't walk up the stairs without feeling winded when he was walking and the team's cheering for him walking at practice. I mean, I think that's the other eye-opening thing for our entire program was they were no one's faking that, no one's wanting that to happen to them. So I think also the team rallying around him and being invested in the coaches in the way that everyone cared, and we were okay, one day at a time, one step at a time, we'll get through this. We'll help you get through this.
My body went through this kind of huge transition and everything, and there were days where my body felt great, and I can get through a workout, and other days my body did not feel that great, and where I had to basically take a step back, from workouts or do less. But I think each day I'm getting better and better physically.
The dialogue that Elias and I just kept having was, listen, we're gonna do the best based off of the information we currently have. That information may change as we go. So we're just gonna have to remain open and flexible and adaptable. And obviously within the Quinnipiac men's basketball program, one of our main mantras is, next play, or attitude, next play. So we just kept kind of trying to say that to each other. He was amazing in that he was just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And then it's his ability to recover to get to the next day's practice. So all of those things were little hurdles for him that we may take for granted every day. But I'm just really excited to see him back on the court, back to himself, because I say he's a quiet player, but he just does all the exciting things, his charges and just the defense, help say defense, he's amazing. We're excited to see him back out there.
I would say I learned just to enjoy the moment more. I'm more of a person who likes to think ahead and not really, be in the moment. And I think, just learning that basketball can be taken away at any moment. And I didn't really think about that until I tested positive and when they said I'm out for the season. So I just think just being present in the moment and just enjoying everything that's happening around me. I think
every inch gained was 2 weeks of work for him. So right now, when I see him get through a day successfully, or he'll shoot me a text message on an off day and be like, I actually feel great today. And I'm like, oh, that's a big win, right? Like, we're seeing that recovery time decrease. So when he's playing in a bigger game against Maryland, and his parents are going to be able to see him back on the court, that's the ultimate goal for any athletic trainer, just to see their athlete back to the court, being able to do what they love the most.
I give a lot of credit to Sarah. Like, Sarah's been the best at this. And I know there were probably times where she might have stressed out because this whole thing's new to everyone. So I really appreciate her. When I had COVID, her and I were always communicating with each other. And then with Coach B and the coaching staff, just I appreciate them a lot also, just because they were patient with me. They weren't kind of rushing me back or anything. They were very understanding, and I think especially with COVID, nobody really knew what was happening and how people were gonna handle it when they got COVID. So I think everybody's just been awesome with me, and I just really appreciate that.